everyone. It is a beautiful Friday morning. It's September 10th. I may actually make an exception if I don't have any personal readings that pop up at the last minute. I will be here tomorrow for a special reading. As we all know, tomorrow we look back at 20 years after 9/11. And for those of you who weren't around during that time, that was a particularly scary time for some of us. I'll actually tell you my entire 9/11 story tomorrow. If no private readings come up. I do have quite a bit to do tomorrow, so, we're going to see how things go. Live stream on High Fivin' will not be happening this week. I do have to get up a little early for work on Sunday. That was sort of a thing where I was not made, I didn't know whether the schedule was set in stone or not until recently. So now that we do know, now that it's all there, won't be live streaming this weekend. Might the next weekend though. Some stuff's come up where looks like I may have a little more leeway, a little more freedom than I normally would. So that may be happening. I'll keep you posted. Alright, live streaming on YouTube, I'm not entirely sure. I prefer going over to High Fivin' because I can say whatever I like. Anyway, big reading today. Full scale reading, as always, as we do every Friday. So, let's let Full Scale Friday commence. By the way, did you catch the new Matrix trailer? Does it seem like the more you're in your truth, the more you sit in it confidently and firmly, the more that you can see past the illusion and see how wrapped up everyone else is in it? Keep that in mind. What an interesting time for that trailer to drop, no? So who is our guide for today? We do have none other than the goddess of love and war herself. The one who picks the first of the battle dead, Freya. So, matters of love and war. I wonder which one we're dealing with here. Because she usually doesn't pop up very lightly, does she? But she is asking us to really choose who we partner up with. Practice, oh my goodness. This postnasal drip comes at the worst possible time. There we go. There we are. Okay. So she does ask us to discern, use a little discernment with our partnerships, and that could be in business, it could be relationships, it could be friendships. Really, really, choose those battles wisely. Also, you can fight your own damn battles. You don't need someone else stepping in to fight them for you. So a little independence today, I think. Let's see who our spirit animal is. Anybody want to put a wager on it being the cat? Well, I'd have lost. But we do have the antelope. And the antelope is there to inform us that life is speeding up. Speeding up. I mean, everything is just ramping up. It's going, it's going, it's going. This is not This is not something that we get to play with, unfortunately. Life is going to come at you fast, and guess what? For some of us, it is coming at us pretty fast. I could speak volumes on that one, but I won't. At least not here. I think some of you know exactly what I'm talking about. So, right now you're being told unequivocally that it's time to get moving, set your intentions, and take action towards making your dreams real. This is an intensity you can feel, and it's important to take advantage of this energy right now. If you have a plan for your career or financial abundance, now is the time to step it up. If you're asking about a relationship, make the first move. Know that the intentions you have set in motion are coming together at warp speed. Stay alert and keep up. Things are getting interesting. An antelope is calling you to move quickly. So, we're being asked to step up our intentions, put them into action. Now is the time. It's go time, ladies and gentlemen. This is not time to play around. This weekend, whatever plans you have in place, whatever you've been preparing for, and I mean everything, and I like to say this every day, every moment has been leading up to this. What will you do with it? So for the mind, we have a Four of Swords, we have a Five of Cups, feeling a little emotional loss there, and we have a King of Swords. A lot of thought and emotion. But what I am seeing with this is, it's looking to me like we may be what I'm seeing is we are experiencing some emotional loss, and we're trying to figure out where to go with it. Have you ever noticed that sometimes if you're looking in the book, the swords are always the last suit? But this weekend, you may have to step off that battlefield and rest a while. So, meditation, a little stillness there. But you got that Five of Cups. That Five of Cups is not looking fun. But where it really shows is that we're struggling to move on. Why? And we go back to that sword suit again and see that knight standing there. But this is it. This is who you are. So it may be. Here's what I'm saying. It's time to take a little bit of a rest, meditate. If you're having trouble with that, just remember one thing. You're in a war against some serious ignorance here, and it's time to step that up. Whatever intentions you've set from that antelope, this is where it's going. Right here, no, it's not the knight, it's the king. I'm thinking knight for some reason. Why do I want to? Okay. So, this is the knight is the one that's the warrior here. The king is a compassionate leader. He's the wise and loving parent, if you will. So, sorry for the confusion here, but it may be time. It's time to take a rest to kind of get through this. This is where you're mentally stuck, but you need to become this right now. Mentally, this is where you need to be. And the further you are in your truth, the further you are, the more confident you are in it, the more seated you are in it, the more of that king you'll be. So for the body, the physical, we have a Queen of Coins. That's always a great card to come up. We have a Page of Coins. Holy crap, we got a lot of coins coming up. And we have Justice. There we go. Sorry. Stop it, Bob. This little guy's been a holy terror this morning. Sorry. Okay, so That Queen of Coins, she is all about that opulence. She's all about that luxury. And she does not mind showing it off. The Page, on the other hand, is, while naive, can be a little more practical. So right now in the physical, in the realms of the material, this is where you're trying to be. You're trying to seek balance between the absolutely opulent, luxurious to, maybe you don't need that cable sort of thing. You know what I'm saying? One wants the entire package. The other says, well, I can sacrifice a few channels here. One says, no, that's too many channels. The other says, well, I can't really afford that huge package. Is there something kind of in between the two? Some kind of like midpoint where you're a little happier? Calmly think it through. Okay? Kind of strike that balance between supremely opulent and, penny pinching, if that makes sense. And that's in the physical. So that should be very easy. But for the spiritual, we've got the Four of Wands, we've got the Queen of Cups, and we got the Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords, I've always seen that as someone's getting away with something. You can feel it in your bones, right? Someone's getting away with kind of taking you for the proverbial ride. But in the beginning there with that Four of Wands, there's something to celebrate. So exactly what is it you're celebrating? But you are seeing some stability there. You're seeing some, again, it's kind of a place of rest with this Four of Swords line up. There's that Queen of Coins resting in that opulence. And right here, we're seeing a lot of practicality. You're struggling trying to move on from something. What are you struggling with trying to move on from is the question. But that's for you to answer, not me. Possibly moving on from penny pinching or watching every single red cent going in and out of your bank account. And we got that Queen of Cups there. And that Queen of Cups, she's letting us know something. There has to be some stability in here somewhere. Because that Seven of Swords is going to come up. This is where you really need to trust your intuition. Spiritually, this is where you need to be. You need to be listening to your gut a lot more. But that Seven of Swords, in light of the context of the first two cards, I'm seeing that as a little stealth and a little bravery. With discretion being the better part of valor, of course. Now, let's move on to how we can work our light. This is one of my favorite decks. I absolutely love the artwork on this. So, for the mental, we have, again, play, have fun, celebrate. Don't be so serious, okay? You see somebody spouting ignorance, yeah, it's okay to troll them a little bit. Have a little fun with them, make some jokes. Just remember, don't get engaged into personal flame, what we used to call flame wars. Don't use ad hominem attacks. Attack the argument, not the person. You see what I'm saying? That's how you fight ignorance. And I know that I mistook the King of Swords for a Knight of Swords, and that Knight of Swords is usually the warrior, but in this case, this is the king. The king rules, right? You rule in that mental aspect. You are the master of that. No one has your mind. You take control of your damn mind. Alright, so in the physical suit here, presented with an opportunity, Don't know whether to take it or not? Well, now you do. There's your answer. Be like Bryan Danielson used to be when he was in WWE. Comes down the ramp, fingers, going up in the air. Yes, yes, yes. There you go. So just say yes to it. Now, right here in the spiritual realm, we've seen that Queen of Cups. I got a card that points right to it. And it's how can you mother yourself? How can you nurture yourself? How can you take care of yourself spiritually? Let your spiritual side really kind of grow. Makes a lot of sense to me. Alright, so we're going to wrap this with the runes here. So what does Freya have for us today? We've got Nalthes. We have Yera. There's that reward again, and it comes right at the end, right after that Justice card. So, striking that balance here in the physical, you strike that balance. You say yes to, so if something is not one extreme or the other, you're not looking for those extremes. You don't want those extremes. Find that nice compromise. Say yes to it. Stand in it. Guess what? You're being rewarded. I don't know about you, but I get preached at by people into both communism and fascism, and I'm telling them both no. Neither one of you. Ever. Not even once. That's just me. You approach however you want. Finally, in the spiritual, Rider-Waite, the journey. And note that's pointing at all of these cards. You're going to need a little stealth and bravery here. You got that Queen of Cups. She knows her own emotions. She's rested in them, and well rested, might I add. Which is what you need to be this weekend. So play around a little, have fun. But again, don't take it to extremes. Be very, very careful. If you're going to drink, please do it responsibly. Really not a good idea to get completely loaded. But with Nalthes, here's what comes up with Nalthes all the time. Time to let go of the obsessions. So if your obsession is politics, it might be time to let go of that a little bit. If your obsession is constantly going out and running around and going and doing, it might be time to kind of stay at home a little bit. Again, it's kind of pointing at that Justice card. If you're having too much of one, not enough of another, maybe it's time to kind of back off of one or the other of those and kind of sit in that middle, sit right there on the fence for a little bit. Sit in that center line, it's going to be fine. Because that spiritual journey is going to be the most important thing you can do this weekend. That's the only thing you should really be taking seriously. Because this is helping you see past all the illusion being presented to you right now. And let me tell you something. Let me tell you what I see with that. I see a lot of desperation. A lot of desperation. Desperation to keep it going. There is no keeping it going. It's dying, and you can tell. It's evident. People, something you should understand. And take this for what it's worth. People in power never want to give up power. Once they've had it, boy, let me tell you something. It can be a very powerful emotion. No pun intended. But when you turn over your rights to someone else who claims that they can keep you safe, they can keep you secure. Okay, if you really believe that, if you really believe that a society without weapons or cash or any kind of autonomy is a good thing, and that all rights are merely privileges, then I invite you to do one thing, and I have yet to find anyone who will take me up on this challenge. Check yourself into a local prison, because that is exactly what it's like. You want to know how I know that? I used to work in one. If you don't think that a certain group of people can be outnumbered 3-1 and still not maintain control, go look at a prison sometime. You could combine officers, administration, and even just maintenance staff, and they're still outnumbered 3-1, and they still manage to control that many people. Starting to get a clearer picture yet? Because both of these extreme sides want exactly that, and they want it for you. But if you're strong and secure in your truth, you can see past the illusion that they're powerful. Because they're not. They're desperate. So to sum up, if life is coming at you fast, you need to make some decisions. Any plans that you've had in place, now is the time to put them into action. It's time to celebrate a little this weekend. It's time to have a little fun, take a little rest. It's time to say yes to any opportunities that can pull you from one extreme or the other. You will be rewarded for that. It's also time to nurture yourself on your spiritual journey. And that is the essence of this entire reading. And what I described to you before is exactly what this type of behavior defeats. I hope you understand. This weekend is super important. It's important like no other. I hope you got something from this today. I hope it resonated with you. As always, I appreciate you showing up. I appreciate you having your cup of coffee or whatever your morning beverage is. I love you all. I want you to be careful. Strive for strength of mind, body, and spirit. Do what lights you up. And as always, shine on.